Hello everyone, welcome to SM Tech All. Today we are going to solve the day 27 of September Lead Code Challenge. So today's problem name is evaluate division. So at first let's try to understand the problem statement first. So what they are saying that we will be given one equation list, and in the format of a by b equals to k, where a and b are the variable represented as string and k will be another real number, that will be floating point number, and we will be given some queries also, and we need to compute each and every queries and we need to return the answer. Okay, and if we found that the answer does not exist, in that case we need to return 1.0 minus 1.0. okay, since it's a floating point number. And there is some note also that the input is always valid, so there should not be any invalid input. So we can also assume that there should not be no division by 0 or this kind of no contradiction. Okay, so let's try to understand the given example. First example. Okay, so here I can see this is our equation, right? So what this means, so this is my first value and this is my second value, both are string, right? So what they are saying here, so if a by b will be equal to our real value, so it is 2.0. so this is our first equation. Okay, and the second equation is that bc means b by c should be equals to 3, right? Okay, so this is given to us. Okay, now we need to compute the answer for this queries, right? The first query is what will be the a by c. Okay, so if you do the simple equation, then it will return you a by c will be ideally, so this will be cut, and so a by c will be 2 into 3, that will be 6. Okay, and we need to return the same at the end, it should be returned 6.0. okay, similarly if you check b by a also, right? So b by a will be obviously 1 by 2.0, that is 0.500. Similarly, let's try to understand this a and e. So in this case I can see e does not exist. Okay, so e does not exist in our given equation. So in that case we can return minus 1.0. And again, and if I see like this a by a, so again if I found this kind of thing a by a, then we can return 1.0, since we are dividing the number with the same number only, right? And there can be another scenario, x by x, right? So in this case we can't return 1.0, though both the numbers are same, but this x does not exist in our equation, right? So in that case we need to return minus 1.0. okay, so these are the this will be the expected answer for the given example 1. okay, so basically we need to check, if you understand it properly, we need to check three things. The first thing will be obviously if I find the same if I found the same number and both the numbers are exist, in that case we need to return 1.0, that means output will contain 1.0. and if I found that numbers are not exist, then in that case we need to return 1.0, like minus 1.0, like x by x or a by e, in these two scenario. okay, and the last condition is the where our both the values are exist in our equation, right? Like a by c. In this case we need to compute it and return the corresponding value, right? Like in this case it will be 6.0. okay, so whenever we will design our solution, we need to keep in mind these three scenarios. Okay, scenario number 1, both the strings are same. Scenario number 2, that strings are not exist in our equation, and the last scenario is the valid scenario where both the strings are exist, okay, in our equation. In that case we need to compute and return. Okay, so how we can solve it? Okay, so let's try to identify one solution for the same. So basically probably we can build one graph using the given equation, so that we can easily solve it. So suppose how we can build the graph, like suppose the first equation is a by b is equals to 2.0, right? So what we can do, we can take two node initially, it will be a, and we can take another node b, and here I know that a by b is 2.0, so it will be directed graph, so it will be look like this. okay, and we can put 2.0 here. okay, similarly I can see the next equation is b by c is equal to 3.0, right? So I can take another node and it will be c. Again in this case I know the value is 3.0, and we also in some cases we need to return like this also, b by a. So if I know a by b, then I can easily calculate the b by a also, right? So again b by a will be 1 by 2.0. So it's simple, right? Similarly we can calculate c by b also if required. again it will be 1 by 3.0, so 0.33 something. Okay, so using this we can build one graph like this, right? So now if you see this example, right, so if it is known to us a by b and b by c, so there is a common link is b, right? And if we cut b, it will be a by c. So suppose I need to find a to c, so I know that to find a to c I need to find the path of to a to b, that is 2.0, and I need to find the path b to c, right, that is 3.0, and if we do the multiplication of those two values, that will give us the expected answer, right? You can come to conclusion using this 2, right? So basically if I multiply both the value, then I can get the exact value between a to c. So we are going via b. Okay, so b will be a middle node. So using this formula we can easily calculate the value. Okay, so let's try to understand, and now let's try to design solution. Okay, so once we build our graph, then we can easily identify the edges, right? So suppose I need to find to a to c, right? So I can traverse the gap. So we can either use BFS or DFS to traverse the gap, and we can easily identify this path, and we can calculate the value using this formula, right, by multiplying both the value. So using this approach we can solve it. Okay, so let's try to see it in more details way. Okay, so you can see this will be our graph, right? After building all the equation, it will look like this. Now we need to build our adjacency map, right? So this will be our adjacency map, where I am going to take one map, and in that map my key value will be obviously string, the start value, and in the value section we are going to store all the possible paths from that particular key. So how we are storing here, you can see, right, we are starting with a. From a we can see we can go to b, so I store here b, and its corresponding value is 2, right, correct? And from a we can't go anywhere else, right? Similarly from b we have two edges, one is these edges b to c, another one is b to a, so we are storing that. So we are storing b to a will be 1 by 2.0, and for b to c it will be 3.0. Okay, and for similarly we can build it for c also. C we can go to only one vertices or nodes, that will be b, so it will be b by 1 by 3.0. Okay, since it's the direction will be opposite one, so 3 is the b to c, so c to b will be 1 by 3.0. Okay, so this will be our adjacency list. Okay, so because we need to deal with adjacency list only, right, while writing the code. So our adjacency list will look like this. Okay, so now it's easy, right? Now I can start traversing the graph. So I can use DFS. So using DFS I can traverse this graph, and I can identify the value, right? So I will probably, suppose I need to find a to c, right? So I will go to here and I will check. Okay, so there is no connection to c, direct connection, so I will pick the b, and I will start again from b, and from b I will check. Okay, there is a b to a node, but we should not go to a because our destination is c only, right? So we will check that, and we will find here, right? So now we can return these two values. We can multiply 2 into 3 and we can return the value, right? So using this approach we can easily solve it. So okay, so basically, so what will be our solution? At first we need to build the graph. Second, we need to traverse the gap to calculate the weight, okay, or calculate the actual result value. Then we can return the result array, okay, because we need to return the result array. So let's try to write the code using Java quickly, so that will surely give you much better understanding. Okay, so as I already told you, I need to build the graph, right? So to build the graph I am going to use map. So let's declare that. So map, it should be, key value will be string, and our value will be again map. So it will be kind of nested map, you can say. And again in the second map my key will be string and value will be double, since we are storing the value, right, of that particular equation. Okay, and let us declare it as map only, and let's initialize it as hash map. Okay, so this will be our first thing. Apart from that, let's write the logic in our main calculate equation, right, in calculate equation methods. So we obviously need one double array where I am going to return all the results of the given queries. Okay, so let's declare that. So it should be double, and the size will, let us name it as results, and the size will be obviously our query size, right? So whatever the query size, our list result size will be same only, right? So let's initialize that. So new double, and size will be queries dot size. Okay, since it's a list we need to use the size method, right? So now my result array is also initialized. So next step is build the graph, right? We need to build this graph, okay? From the given equation, we need to build the graph. So probably we are going to pick one equation at a time and we are going to build the graph, okay? So let's run one for loop for the same. So for loop, obviously we start from 0. It should be I equals to 0, and we need to run it till it reaches to the length of the equation list, okay? So equations dot size, and we need to increment I, okay? Now I can define one build graph function, something like that. So I will define one function later. So build graph, something like this, and I am going to pass two things. So I need to pass my equation and I need to pass the equation results, right? So result is in this values double array, right? So let's pass those things. So obviously I need to pass the equation, single equation, right? List of string. So it should be equations dot get I, and we need to pass the values, okay, for that particular equation. So it should be values I, okay? Now let's quickly define this build graph method, okay? So we can use it private, mention it as private, and we are not going to return anything. We are just going to update this map variable, right? And since it's a global variable, we don't need to return anything. So it should be private void, and it should be build graph. And in this case, we are passing two parameters. One will be obviously the list of strings. So let's write that. And second thing will be, so let us name it as equation only. And apart from that, I am also passing the result also, right? So it should be double result, okay? So I need to build the graph. So basically it's a hash map, right? So at first, while building the graph, I will check the particular, so in the equation it will be two value, right? Suppose we are doing it for this one, right? A, B. So there will be two string A and B, okay? So at first I will check that A is exist or not. If not, we are going to initialize one new hash map, then we can put the value, right? So let's do that. So let's take two variable for simplicity. String start, something like this, and it will be equation dot get 0, because in the first position we have the start value, right? That is A for the first example, and we are going to take another variable string end. Here I am going to take the end value or end string value, right? So it should be equation dot get 1, that will return me the end value, okay? So now what's next? Now I need to add this value in our map, right? Since we are building the map, so I will check. I will call map. So map comes with one inbuilt method, put if absent. So it will check if that particular start key is exist. If it is not exist, it will initialize one new hash map, right? So it will reduce the number of lines of code, okay? So we can avoid some extra if and contents method, something like those things, okay? So I will call this put if absent, and I will check that start is exist or not, okay? So if start is not going is exist, I am going to initialize one new hash map, okay? Fine. And after that I am going to update the key, right? So let's do that. So it should be map dot get, and we are going to fetch the value for start, and we are going to update or put the new value, right? So new value will be end, and the corresponding result value that I am passing, okay? So similarly we did it for this edge, right? The forward edge A to B, but we can easily do it for B to A also, right? We need to divide by 1. So we will do that also here. So again I am going to check map dot put if absent. In this case our key will be end will become our key. So it should be end. If it is not exist, then we are going to initialize one new hash map. Fine. Now again we can update the value, right? Map dot get and end, and we are going to put the new value here. So in this case our key will be start, and we are going to put the result here, okay? I think that's pretty much for this method. So using this method we are going to build this hash map, right? So it will be look like this after iterating through all the given equation, okay? It will look like this now. So our first step is done. Our map is now ready. So now we need to iterate this map, and we need to calculate the result for the given queries. So let's do that. So what I will do, again I need to run one for loop. So let's do that. Again I will start with I equals to 0. In this case we need to run till our queries, right? So it should be I should be less than queries, and again it should be less than size, queries dot size, then I plus plus. Now I need to update our double also, right? So basically I can write one method using which you can calculate and it will return the double value, and we can update that in our results. Okay, so let's pick this results. I should be, so we will probably define one method, calculate result, calculate query result, something like this, and whatever it will return the double value, and we are going to update that in our result array. Okay, now for this calculate query result we need to pass, I think, obviously the start point, end point. So let's do those. So obviously it should be queries dot get I, and we need to pass the first point, right? So it should be get 0. So this will give me the starting point, that is A, and again I need to pass the end point, right? That is C for the first query, A and C. Okay, for the first example I am saying. So it should be queries dot get, and it will be again I, and we are going to do the get 1 this time since we are picking the end point. Okay, and apart from that I need to keep tracking, right? So something I should not visit the same node twice, right? So somehow I need to maintain that so since we are going to use DFS, right? So somehow we need to maintain this, right? So suppose I visited only once A, so I should not go to this path because I came from A only, right? So we need to keep tracking those things. So probably we can take one set for the same, or you can take one so array also, but in this case we are going to take one hash set where I am going to keep tracking the nodes which I am visiting. Okay, since we should not repeat those nodes. Okay, so it should be new hash set. I think these 3 parameters we need to pass, and once we are done we are going to return our results. Okay, results array that will contain all the results for our given queries. So now let's quickly define this calculate query method. Okay, so again it will be private method, and in this case the return type will be obviously double since we are returning double value. And let's define this method quickly. So here I am passing 3 parameters. So first thing will be string start, it will be string value. Second will be obviously string end, and the last thing will be the hash set, right? So it will be a set of string. Okay, since we are storing the nodes, and nodes value are in string only. Okay, so let us name it as visited, something like this. Okay, cool. Now I need to, now let's go back to our 3 condition, right? We need to check 3 things, that if both the values are matching we need to return 1, we don't need to calculate anything. If the start or end is not present in our maps, then we can return minus 1.0, or if it is a valid case, then we can get the value from the map and we can return. Okay, so let's write this logic one by one. So at first I will check that my particular given start or end is exist or not in our map. If it is not exist, then we can return directly minus 1 from there only. Okay, so I will check if so map is already global variable, so map dot contains key start, and we will check if not, right? If it is not contains, then we can return minus 1, and we can check the similarly for end also, right? And map dot contains key end, and if these 2 values are not present, then we can return minus 1. So that means it's not possible, right? Those that we are returning minus 1.0 here if the start and end is not in our map. Okay, so this will be our first condition. Now I need to check the equality also, right? So if I see both the values are equal, then we can return 1.0. So let's write logic for the same also. So if I will see that start, since it's a string, we need to use the equals method here to comparing the value, the end, and if I see both are same, then we can return 1.0, right? Since both values are same and both values are exist in our map. Okay, so now it will be our second condition. Now our third condition, right? The valid scenario where A and C both are exist, and it can happen that A it's not directly linked, right? So like this, it's not directly linked, we need to go via B. So in that case we need to run the DFS. Okay, so we will do that right now. But suppose let's consider the edge the final accepted case also, right? So suppose both A and B are present, like b by a, this scenario, right? In that case, we can directly fetch the value and return. So we will write that first, then we will write the logic for DFS. Okay. So if I will check if my map dot get our start value contains key end value, right? If both here, then we are going to return it, right? So return map dot get start dot get end. Okay, so it will return our result value. Like for b by a, right? I see b and a both are exist, so I will fetch the b, then I will fetch the corresponding result for a key. Okay, that will be 1 by 2.0, this thing, right? 1 by 2.0, this value. Okay, cool. So now we covered all the three scenarios. So this is for the accepted case. Okay, the happy case. Now, okay, so now suppose a and a, let's take the scenario for a and c. So both a and c are exist, but they are not linked directly. So we need to go through via b. So for that, we need to write the DFS. Okay, logic of DFS. So I already passes this visited set, right? So that means I am at a. I am going to traverse to c. So I will insert a in our set, so that I know that I already started from a. So I will not come back to a once again. Okay, so it should be visited dot add. For that reason, I am adding a here. I am going to add the start value. Okay, cool. Now suppose I am here, right? I am here. Now I need to traverse all the possible paths from a, right? In this case, it's 1, but we need to consider all the paths. So I am going to write one for loop. So it should be for, and I am going to take the map dot entry. Since we are iterating through map, so we need to take the entry. Okay, and it will be string double. Let us name it as entry only, and we are going to take the map dot get start. Then whatever the map, we are going to take the entry set of the same. Okay, since we are iterating through the map. So now what will be our next step? So I am here right now, right? I am here. Now I am going to iterate through each and everything. Okay. So now I will check if my entry, so if my visited, so I will check did I visited this particular node. If it is visited, then we are not going to consider that. Okay, we are not going to traverse it again. So if my visited set contains this entry dot get key, so key will be our start value, right? If it is contents, not contents. If it is not contents, then only visit. Else we are not going to visit. We can skip to the next element of the map. Okay. So if it is not contents, that means we did not visited this particular node. Okay. So then we will try to visit. So I will take one temporary variable called double. Let's declare it as double D. So now I will take the value. I will call this same method. Since we are using DFS, right? We are going to call it recursively. So let's call that. So we will call this calculate query result method, and we need to pass three things. So in this case, our start will be changed. So start will be entry dot get value. Okay. So basically plain DFS logic. Okay. And the end will be remain same because we need to traverse till the C. So end will be obviously same. Okay. And we need to pass the visited. So visited will also remain same. Visited will currently contain only one node, that is A, right? Since we have started from A. Okay, so now I will check. So it can happen that it's in some scenario it can return -1. So if it's return -1, then we can return that directly, right? So we should not do the multiplication. So I will check that. So if my D is not equals to -1.0, that means we can do the multiplication, right? Means we can find the in between nodes like B in the first example, right? So it will be D equals to D into this value, right? Entry dot get value, and we can return it. Okay, we can return D from here. Okay, cool. And at the end, so suppose we need to return something. Although we covered all the scenario right here, but we need to return something at the end, right? Else it will throw some compilation error. So we can return -1. Okay, from the end. I think that's pretty much. Let's quickly run the code and see whether it's compiling or not. So there are a couple of 3 things that I mistake. One thing is that it should be 1 by result, since we are traversing to the reverse direction. So it should be 1 by result, and here one closing braces was missing, and we are using wrong value. It should be get.key instead of get.value. Okay, so now let's quickly run this and check. Okay, I think it's giving us the expected answer. Let's quickly submit it and check whether it's accepted or not. Okay, I think our solution is also accepted. So let's take the it's running. It's beating the 71.9 Java submission, and runtime is 1 second. Okay, so now let's do the quick recap of our code, what we have written here. Okay, so you can see we declared one map. In that map, we are going to store this adjacency list. We are going to calculate later. Okay, and we declare this double result where we are going to store the result of the given queries, and then we are iterating or picking through. We are going through each and every given equation, and we are building this adjacency list, right? So this is our build adjacency list methods. Okay, so it's basically map, and key is the string, and again the value will be again a map with string and double. Okay, so in the double we are storing the result. Okay, and whenever we are building the map, we are considering the reverse direction also, right? So it's given, if it is given, if we know that A to B means A by B, then we also can easily identify B by A also, right? So it will be 1 by result. So we are doing that. So we are inserting that in our map also, right? So using this for loop, we are building this map. Now we are going through each and every given query, and we are going to calculate the result using DFS. So this is our DFS function mainly, right? So here we are checking the condition. So I am checking that suppose it's like A and E, right? So E is not exist, then we can separately return -1. We check this condition here. We are also checking the same condition. Suppose it's given like A and A. So in this case, we can return 1.0 here, since the both value are same. So we are checking this using this condition, and we are checking the accepted condition here also, right? So suppose we need to find A, B and A, right? So in this case, both B and A exist, and it's a direct linking, right? B to A is direct linking. It's 1 by 2.0, right? 1 by 2.0, that is 0.5. Okay, sorry. So we are checking this condition here, and if it is not, suppose we are finding for A to C, right? So here what we are doing here, we took one set, and we are in the set initially we added A. Why we added here? That means we already visited the A, so that we should not come back to here. Okay, now we are iterating, we are picking the map value for A. So here we have only B, and we are picking that, and we are going through each and every value for that A. So here it's only 1, so I will pick B, and again I will check for the this 3. So again I will pick B, and I will call this same method, right, recursively. So here my B will be there, and end will be C, and visited will be obviously the A. It will contain only A. So now again second time this condition will be successful, right? So B and C is directly linked. So for B and C I can see the value is 3.0, right? So I am storing that value inside this D variable, and if it is a non-negative, then we are doing the multiplication with the earlier value, right? Earlier value was A to B value was 2. We are doing the multiplication of these two, and we are returning the result. Okay, so this is how we are solving this problem. I think that's pretty much for this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. If you still have some doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.